So the first thing you need to do is decide on your paper size. So I know we said I was going to teach you how to do the Archer and Olive layout, but I want you to consider this. This is a B5. This is a beast of a planner. It's pretty big, it's very heavy, but it is beautiful and easy to write in because there's more space. However, the A5, which is much smaller, as you can see over here, is totally acceptable and pretty much the standard when it comes to these bound planners. And if you're just starting out, I would say go ahead and go with the A5 unless you feel strongly about offering the B5 design or your audience really wants it. So we are going to do this size inside of Adobe InDesign. So the first thing to do is obviously open Adobe InDesign. And then once you are in there, you're going to go up here to the top left, you're going to say new file, and you're going to go to print. Now inside of print, you're probably going to see picas, mostly because I've been too lazy to change my defaults. But if you click and say view all presets, you're going to see A5, A4, A3, all those sizes that we just talked about. And there's B5. So you're going to go ahead and select A5 and say create. You don't even have to worry about picas or inches or any of that stuff. So once it's open, this is the size of your planner. Now over here to the right, we're going to go to pages. We're actually going to create a parent page of dot grids because pretty much the hallmark of all of these bound planners that have that boxy kind of style is that people that like this sort of book format really enjoy bullet journaling. And more specifically, they either are great illustrators or an artist themselves, or they like the illustration someone else makes. So like you'll notice Amanda Rachel Lee's planners all have like her cute little doodles inside of them. And it's like already been sort of, I guess, you know, done for you, all the designs. So you don't really need design illustration skills, but we are going to go inside of here and we're going to go to the top to parent pages. Now, if you don't see this menu at the top, you just need to go to window and make sure there's a check mark in front of pages. And then this pages pull out should be here on the right. If you don't see it, you can just make sure you select it and it will just show you the selection. So we're going to do the parent. And remember, you're going to double click it and that's going to make that the active page that you see here on this dashboard. Now to create a dot grid, I have another tutorial, but I'm going to show you again really quick. You're going to go over here on the left to the ellipse tool and you're going to hold down the shift key to make sure it's a perfect circle. And we're going to make literally, so we're going to zoom in here, the world's tiniest dot because that's pretty much what the dot grid is. You can see them, but they don't really like overwhelm you. So it doesn't really matter where you make it. We're gonna make our tiny little dot grid over here. And right now it's invisible because at the top, you're going to have to change this to black. And don't worry about the border. We don't really care about that. But if we go back to that black color, if you're gonna hit tint and then you hit the little arrow, you're going to get the slider button. So tint, if we take it down a little bit, it's going to be a light gray. So that's kind of what we want. We want a light gray because we don't want it to overwhelm the design. We're going to put our boxes in black, but we want this to be like a gray color. Now you want to go over here to the top left to the selection tool and make sure it's selected. It's very tiny, so it's going to be hard to see. And then at the top, you're just going to go to edit and you're going to go to step and repeat. Now inside of step and repeat, we are going to select, make sure you have it check mark, create as a grid. Sometimes it comes up just as count. You're going to say create as a grid. I would say do 47 to, I don't even know, let's say 41 or 40 across. And I'm just guessing, maybe we should do 52. You can play with these, but if you come down here and you say preview, then you can kind of see what it looks like. And that's kind of what I was thinking for the dot grid place. So we're going to say okay. So now it has created our whole dot grid for us with one click. We're going to zoom out so we can see how much space we've actually taken. And we've probably taken up a little too much space. So we're going to select everything over here and we're simply going to line it up. Whoops. We're going to select it and then we're going to make sure that it's all together by saying group. Now we're going to take it and we are going to take this one group of things and we're going to move it over here to the right so it's even with that page at the top and the right. And don't worry too much about it going off the page. it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to slide over here to the right side of the parent page, and we are simply going to copy and paste that object. Now, if you're having trouble selecting it, sometimes if you start at the top and just drag and drop, it will automatically select that for you. So I'm just going to hit Control C and Control V. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to line it up over here on the right side of the page. And I am going to try to get those dots lined up so they're kind of at the same place. So to do that, I can just highlight both of these dot groupings, and I can come over here to the top and I can just align them at the top. And now they're perfectly in line with each other. Don't worry about the dots in the middle. I really don't think it matters. So now we have our dot grid. So what we're going to do is make sure that this parent page is applied to all the pages in our document. So if we head over here, we're going to actually, down to the bottom, we're going to add 2 more pages. Whoops, just kidding. That was on the parent page. We're going to go down here in the actual document, not parent pages, and add 2 more documents. So we have 2 over here. So we're gonna do a 2-page spread where half of the week is on the left and half of the week is on the right. The reason you wanna do this is because the number of pages inside of this bound planner should be about 176. You might have to add some blank pages at the back, depending on how many pages you have for like goals and setup or anything like that. But that's a good number of pages for this to be about the right size, for it to feel substantial in someone's hands, and honestly, like they got what they paid for. Less pages, and sometimes the binding might be a little off, or it might just look kind of awkward, or they might just feel like they didn't get their whole value's worth. So because of that, that's where we're going to do a weekly 2-page spread. If you're thinking about doing a daily, I'm just going to stop you right there. That's a hard no, only because with the daily, you are going to end up with too many pages, and it's going to be too cumbersome, and pages are going to be falling out, and it's going to cost much more money to do a daily. So let's get back to our design. So over here, all you're going to do is make boxes. It's just that easy. So we're going to come here and we're going to go to the rectangle tool. And now we do want to actually put in black as the outline color. And over here, as long as it has a slash through none, we don't really want any colors inside of there because we want that dot grid to show through. So I'm going to drag and drop my first rectangle. So I could do, let's say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday over here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the right. So if I'm kind of guesstimating, I could say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday should come down to, let's say, about there. And then I can copy this and paste it. And then I can change that selection tool over here. And then I can paste it again. And now I have my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Move this out. And to space these out, what I could do is just select all 3 of these, and then over here, just choose spacing, so they're all kind of distributed equally. So you could get more into like mathematically making these ahead of time, but I think you can probably just eyeball these as well. So we're gonna just drag and drop all 3 of these. We're gonna try without selecting those. I'm gonna drag these over to the right. Ever since I switched over to this Mac Pro instead of having that huge iMac, I've noticed the memory has been an issue because I went from 96 gigabytes of RAM to about 64. So if you're thinking about buying a Mac, that does make a difference. Okay, so we have these boxes all set here. Now, one thing we could do is if we're not happy with these like straight edge corners, we could add these bevel corners. We can add inserts. We can add inverse corners, rounded corners, just something to kind of give your planner a little bit more character, I guess you could say. So we'll make these rounded. Now, another thing I really like to do is when you create that text box, so let's just go into here. I like to do, so Monday, January, what is next week? January 27th. So obviously I ran out of space. So over here at the text, let's make this a little smaller. Maybe I want to use Nutriface text. And maybe I want it to be a little bolder, like the demi. And maybe to differentiate Monday, I'm going to make this book. Now, over here, I'm going to change this text so it's in the middle of that text box. And I'm also, if I hit the T tool for type, I'm going to center it. Now, why does that matter? I'm actually going to take this whole box over here at the top and I'm going to make it white. So now you can't see the dot grid underneath. And on top of that, this now overrides that box, that line. So if you want to look at this, if you do view overprint preview, you can see it without any of those grid lines going on because we don't really need them now that we put the boxes there. And I think doing this, if I line this up so the text is right in line with that, I think it just makes it look a little bit fancier. So if you hit the W key while you are like the selection tool is selected, then you can see it without anything. So it kind of gives you more of like a true preview. So this is, again, just a style thing that I prefer. You could do something different. So we can just go ahead and paste this over here and paste this here. We're just going to keep going on down the line. And we are going to make sure these are all lined up in the middle over here. And I'm going to change this to Tuesday. I know, big surprise. You're like, what are you doing? 28th. Now, Wednesday is always a challenge. Why is it such a long word? I always make a joke, like if I could go back to ancient times when they made the calendar one, I would ask them to make it an even number of days, like so that weeks would have 8 days in the week. And on top of that, I would also ask them not to make the word Wednesday such a long word. Okay, so now we're going to select all 3 of these and we're going to Control C and we're going to paste it and we're going to move them over here to the right. And we're going to just drag it over here. So I might have moved that too far to the right. So that's probably in the middle. Okay, so now we're going to do Thursday, the 30th, Friday, the 31st, and 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And now we have, did I do that right? Saturday. Now you have 2 choices here. You could split this box into 2. Or you could just say Saturday, Sunday to take up the whole thing. So what I like to do is actually split it into 2. So I will do Saturday, February 1. And then I will copy this and paste it right about here in the middle. And I will make this Saturday, February 2nd. Now, this box, all you have to do is hover over that bottom line, that bottom box, and then just drag it up. So you're going to take this box, Control C, and then Control V, and we're going to put it right down here. So it's lined up. And so now I can see I probably, just to get that in the middle, I probably need to put this up a little higher. So I'm going to delete this box. Instead of trying to resize it, it's easier just to take one box, Control C and Control V it. Then you know for sure both boxes are the same size. All right, now I made it too small. So it's there. And then Control C, Control V. Let's get rid of this box. And let's take this box over here. There we go. Now it's perfect. So we are going to take this box and we are going to send it to the back. That's why that line showed up, because this box has a white background, so it should be on top of the box that it's lying on, so it gives that kind of like white space. So now if I hit W, now I have my 2-page spread. Now, what are we going to do with the bottom? So there's a couple things you can do with the bottom. It's really up to you on how much you want to put in there. One thing you could do, so if we just go over to rectangle again, and because we want this to match, we're going to change this to rounded. We could just go ahead and put one big box down here at the bottom. and call it notes and call it a day. Or we could put multiple boxes. Now, since this is an A5, you have to just think about, okay, if I'm writing in an A5 notebook and I have the whole area to write, that's substantial. But if I only have this much area to write, am I going to get that much stuff in there? Maybe I should just have one box on the right and then possibly two boxes on the left or something like that. So we could vary it up over here. If we go over to that selection tool, maybe make this a little taller, and then I'm going to paste this over here. And same thing, I am going to simply half this. So I can already see because I have the other boxes here. So I'm just going to come over to the right a little bit more, Control C and Control V that box, so I know for sure they're even on the right and the left. And now I have two boxes. And so over here, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and paste it right on top of there. And we're going to call this notes. And over here, we can call this and reminders. Whoops, I meant to do ampersand. And then we can copy and paste this and then head over here and we can say something like habits to track. And we can take this box because this took up less text over here. So this box probably doesn't need to be that big. So we can make it a little smaller so that white space isn't so big. So we have habits to track, and then we can also say fun stuff to do. There we go. So that is how easy it is to make a 2-week spread. All right, I hope that was helpful in getting you started in creating your own beautiful stationery and gift boxes. And let me know below if you have any questions. And remember, if you would like to create and sell your own planners, make sure to sign up for my free course, Planner 101. I hope you're having a fabulous and wonderful day, and I'll see you later.